Now, based on the poem, let us write the critical appreciation. Now, when we are writing the critical appreciation, we of course have to write it in a paragraph format and use the points that are given over here. We have to mention the title, the name of the poet, the rhyme scheme, the figures of speech, and of course talk about the central idea or the theme of the poem. So first let us mention the title. The poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear, has been written by the radical and the progressive poet Rabindranath Tagore. So you can use some adjectives to describe the poet. And now we talk about his achievements or something that is related to the poem. Now, Rabindranath Tagore, who was the first non-European to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. He is the author of the Indian as well as the Bangladeshi national anthems. The poem was titled Prathna in its original composition, which is in Bengali, and was translated into English by Tagore himself and was published in his work Gitanjali. Now, all the details about the poet, you can actually get it from your textbook. Just above the poem, we have an entire box where there are details related to the poet and the poem as well. So, you can use those details in writing the critical appreciation. Now, let us mention the rhyme scheme. The poem has been written in a free verse and does not have a rhyme scheme. Now, as for the figure of speech, we know that it is a prayer. So, therefore, the entire poem, the dominant figure of speech is apostrophe. As the poem is written in the form of a prayer to God, and the poet uses apostrophe by directly addressing God, who is not actually present before him. And then as we talk about the central idea. In the central idea, of course, we know that the poet has given us descriptions for his ideal and free nation. So the central idea of the poem is the description of an ideal and free nation. Here the poet defines freedom, and he tells us that it is not just a political ideology. It's not something that we should just know about, but freedom is something that we should experience, but as an intellectual and social awakening. So in this poem, the poet emphasizes on freedom for each and every citizen and in every way.